Hi all, welcome back to Procoso. In this video, we are not going to talk anything about JS frameworks. Let's talk about some fundamentals, which is an imperative to be part of web development. Yes, that is JavaScript, the mother of all JS framework. The biggest mistake most of the developer does, including me, that is learning new technologies or JS oriented frameworks without learning a basic concept of JS. It is like construction of 21 floors building without pillars and foundation. Well, let's not do that mistake. If you have already done, let's take it as a learning curve. So without wasting much time, let's get started. There is one learning mantra involved here. If you have habit of imitating the code while watching the video, please park it aside and come with the fresh mindset. The reason I prefer this mantra in almost all the tutorials is I learned this mantra by my mistakes. I want you to take care without making the mistake, because if you do so, you have to pay a huge amount of effort and time to come out of it. Let's start our weird JavaScript journey with three main, or I would say the initial three concept, that is syntax parser, execution context, and lexicals. So above three words will scare you for sure, but trust me, this is so simple if you understand in a better way. Let's start our JavaScript journey with syntax parser then. The name suggests what you mean by syntax parser. This is nothing but a grammar involved in your JavaScript. When we talk English, when we talk any other languages, the first thing it does, it will get into your brain and it will convert your language into chunks, and the brain will process the language and it will respond back with the understanding things. That's it guys. This is so simple. The same thing should be involved in JavaScript also. Syntax parser is the thing where you are sending in a whole format the way of vocabulary or grammar, but once you send it, the machine will recognize that and it will convert into chunks of things. There would be, if you're sending one function with the variable, so it will be converted into chunks like function and variables. So this will be done by the system, or I would say in my language, that is a converter or parser. Let's check the same thing with an example. As you're able to see, I have created a function called Procoso and I have created a variable called channel name with the value of Procoso. So one system parser will analyze your code, or I would say compile the code. It will convert the things into functions and variables because I have created one function, one variable. The same thing happens for a larger programming code also, and same thing happens for a one-line code also. So this particular conversion mechanism would remain same for all type of or all lines of code. Well, we have started with the variable and functions, so let's dig into that. So we have something called name and value. What do you mean by that? Sometimes we say it as a key value. What is that? Let's see here. So let's say I have a function called Procoso and I have one variable, that is a channel name. Along with that I have something called channel object. So if I have one channel name, that is a variable name, and I'm giving one value called Procoso, so this is one name and value. It is need not to be necessary like one name should be having the same one value. The name can have a inner or nested names also. The same thing happens here. If you see here, I have a function called Procoso with an object of channel object. So here I have variable or a name called name and a value called Procoso, and type as a name again, and educational as a value, and the videos as a name, and here I will have a array that is again a name and again a value. So value will contain one more name here and one more value. So this is nested values, right? Nested names and value. Object is nothing but it is a combination of name and values. So don't get confused, guys. In other language you may have a different kind of a definition for an object. To check this example, I would suggest if you have a modern browser like Chrome, Mozilla, so you'll be able to access your developer tools. And please open your developer tools, and once you open a developer tools you'll be able to get a console tab. So click on it. I will just open the google.com with the hope of, that is not a hope, it's a fact, it has some JS files, that's why it's running in a browser. So it is taking a JavaScript engine. So here when I say execution context, so I'll be able to access two variables, or sorry for that, it's not a variable, it's an object. When I say object, let's say window, this is an object, and let's say this. Are you able to see any difference between both of these? The window and this, it is exactly identical, right? Yeah, that's how it is. In execution context, it will act as a global level. So let's say if I dig into window object, I'll be able to see most of the things in there, right? So let's say I have something called onboard, navigator, and what it all open and object which is defined in a global way, I will be able to access all those things. So let's say one simple example, I have something called isnan. So window dot isnan, this function should be able to return whether it is a number or not. So I'm going to pass 2, so I got false as a result because this is a number. And when I say same time, when I pass it as a string, I'll be able to get a false again. So I will, if I pass it as true or something, yes, I'll be able to get true. This is how it is, guys. So it will be taking string and it is giving a whether I have passing string or a number. Let's take very basic interview question and a weird part of JavaScript that called hoisting. Yes guys, so we are going to learn about a hoisting now. So the name suggests what is hoist. The most of the tutorials I have seen and have gone through, so it is giving a partial definition and giving a partial explanation of a hoisting. So the explanation is mainly based on a hoisting. It will grab the word from hoisting that will taking hoist, and the name of the hoist is like something is moving to up. So that's what I'm getting as a answer or an explanation for a hoisting. But the fact is that not only the answer, yeah, partially that answer is correct, you're moving something on top, but to answer this particular question or particular concept called hoisting, we have to know, or we have to have a good explanation on a undefined. Okay, well, I'm confusing, right? what do you mean by undefined now? Why undefined came into picture? We'll get to know in some time. Undefined is a special keyword in a JavaScript. When you say some other languages, let's say I have Java and I'm declaring something on a top and I'm going to access something in a bottom. Let's do vice versa. We are going to access something on a top which is not been declared. What the error I'll get in that case? Yes, you're right. I'm going to get that is not defined, right? In a red color properly, I'll get it. It's not defined. But what about JavaScript? Will it throw the same error? Well, let's check that. Well, what is hoisting? So let's search. Let's search in the Google the name called hoist. So it says an act of raising or lifting something up. So yeah, that's what it meant, but most of it is similar, but it is not exact definition. Then what is hoisting? As I mentioned earlier, we have to know the good impact and understanding of undefined in a JavaScript. Then only we can answer this question. So let's consider I have a function called display, which accepts nothing. So it will be a void function, and I'll be consoling a variable called a. So technically there is no variable called a, right? So let me create a variable by using any of lexical. So we'll be saying where a is equal to 10 will be a number. So if I run this program, or if I run that script, so let's say what happens. I have not called the function, right? Let me call the function. Yes, I got 10, right? So 10 is the one which I have declared before the function. Well, boom, it's working absolutely fine. There is no problem. So let me do some alternation on this particular code or a script. Let me declare this particular a after execution of the function. So what actually happens here? I'm executing a function with a console and I'm accepting one a here. A is nothing but a variable, but which is not been declared and initialized any value. So this particular function will wait for the a and it should throw an error, right? Let me say what error I got. See, I got undefined. So nowhere I'm getting it as error, right? So if I get error, I would have get that here. But this is an info. So this is not an error. Why? So let's dig into the code again. I have a display. I'm executing here. I have a here. So let me comment this up. Let's say what I'll get. Exactly. So this is what I was expecting, right? A is not defined. Let's say a is not defined, that one. Undefined. So both the meaning will be same, right? What do you mean by not defined and what do you mean by undefined? So let's have a two variables here. So this is a. At the same time, I'm going to console one more variable called b, which is not been declared or not been initialized. The first thing I got as undefined, and second I'm getting it as a b is not defined. So what do you mean by undefined and b is not defined? Isn't it weird? Because the meaning of both the word would be same, right? It is coming it as a sentence and it is in a proper console log and error. So it is a log. So what do you mean by that? Why I'm getting this kind of weird behavior? Let me tell you. Let me tell you why. So if you go to window and if you search for the variable which you have been, the function whatever you created, you'll be able to get somewhere here. Let me so display is the function. So here I'm getting my display function, right? So that is the name of the function is display, but I am not able to get any variable or a value to the function, right? So this is how window function will work. All the global variable will fit into this. This function is nothing but a global for this particular script. So display will act as a global and it will be communicated to the window object and it will be added to the window object. So anyone can access the display function throughout your application. So that is a fact. So here the b is not defined. I am getting not defined here, and a is something which is somewhere in our application. That means the a value somewhere in a global object. So if you see here, a is undefined, right? It is somewhere in a program which is not defined. That's it. So why you may ask, like, why AI got with such an initial stage, why didn't get the same as display here? So I would have get the A after display, right? Well, let me tell you why. First, once you execute any of the function, the A will get execute because of this particular declaration, because of this particular syntax, the console.log, which is nothing but an execution statement in a JavaScript, and it will search for an A and it will get into the function and it will show it to your browser or DOM. So now what is happening? It is searching for an A. Okay, somewhere it is getting A, but the value of the A is not getting, right? So A is undefined here. So that's what it got added to your console. This is as simple as that, guys. So if you get this particular thing, and some of you can ask, I know it is bit of confusing. You can ask why and what is undefined. Undefined is a special word in a JavaScript. So whatever I do, whatever I execute, or whatever I declare at the top of the project, or anything, any variable function, it will act as, or it will assign to undefined first. So please be clear. Some people will see, okay, let me call somewhere here. So after this call, I am adding undefined here. Let's see what I'll get. So let me comment this. See, I'm getting undefined. So don't do this mistake forever. If you do this mistake, nothing will happen, guys. It will not break your code. But when you want to debug something in your application, you will not get to know whether the undefined is coming because you have declared, or it is coming from the hoisting. So please make sure you are avoiding this particular thing. So don't ever include or don't ever give undefined. It's a bad practice. So I don't want to say like whether you have to give or not. So it is up to you whether you want to give or not. If you're following the best practices, then don't leave it. So here at the same time, so display is there. So this is the basic concept of hoisting. So whatever you learned in a different programming tutorials, I completely agree. They have completely partially, and some of the things I learned from the tutorial, which is 100% right. But some tutorials I've seen like they just explain you what is the meaning of hoist, and they'll say everything you need to declare at top of it. This is the solution for hoisting, guys. This is not a hoisting definition. If you declare everything top of it, obviously you'll not get undefined, right? So this is the solution. So I am digging into the problem statement, and I'm explaining the problem statements. Hoisting is the very weird behavior of a JavaScript, and it is actually an advantage for you, because if you forgot to add something in a declaration statement, it will not break your code. It will just throw a special keyword called undefined. So at the same time, you will be able to get into other codes, because JavaScript is synchronized, guys. It is not asynchronous. I'll come to that later. So this is all about hoisting. Please make sure you're getting this concept perfectly, because this is a main concept, I would say, because I took a lots of time to understand this concept. That's why I'm explaining in a very bit and clear way. So make sure you're getting this concept, and if you get any doubt, so please mention in the comment section. So here we have covered syntax parsing, execution context, and hoisting. So let's wind the video for now. So please subscribe and hit the bell icon if you want to get more videos like this.